After Lucas gives a shocking answer, the professor ends the class. Lucas immediately runs off shouting, "Food! Food!" Isabel sees him and asks if he's going to the cafeteria. Lucas ignores her, but she follows him anyway. Annoyed, Lucas asks why she's following him. Isabel replies that she's also heading to lunch. Lucas scolds Isabel for her strange way of speaking, but she says it's a family tradition. In the cafeteria, Isabel is shocked by the amount of food in front of Lucas. He explains that after starving for 4,000 years, every meal feels like a blessing. When she asks what he means, Lucas avoids the question and asks why she's been following him. Isabel replies there were no other empty seats. She then wonders how he knows so much about the Light Ages. Lucas recalls that 4,000 years ago, magic was at its peak, led by 4 legendary masters: the warrior Kasajin, the sage Wildsman, the black witch Iris, and himself, Lucas Trauman. Isabel recalls the great mage Lucas Trauman and says she would have married him if he was still alive. Frey laughs, calling her a child, and says he's not interested in kids. Isabel gets angry, saying she never proposed to him. Other students are shocked to see Isabel having lunch with Frey. They wonder why she chose him, especially since even David got rejected by her. Later, Isabel brings up Professor Kevin's question about the great sage Schweizer's training methods. She reminds Frey that he answered assimilation, amplification, and battling. Isabel had only known 2 combat training methods, assimilation and amplification. Upon learning about a different method, she asks Lucas to teach it to her. Lucas asks about her current level, and she replies that she is a competent 3-star. Isabel then notes that Lucas speaks as if he has lived for a very long time. He confirms this. When she asks if they are the same age, Lucas answers yes and no. Isabel then presses him about the nature of this third method. Lucas explains that it involves reading books. He emphasizes that what he possesses is not just knowledge, but experience. At the academy, a one-on-one magic duel class begins. The teacher explains the rules. Only 1-star magic is allowed, and the fight will mimic real combat. While everyone listens, Lucas is completely focused on the teacher, calling her the perfect woman. Isabel is shocked. Seriously? At your age? During a training match, Lucas suddenly approaches the professor, grabs her, and boldly asks her to have dinner with him if he wins. The whole class is shocked. The professor tells him to let go, but after he repeats his request, she reluctantly agrees. As Lucas heads to the arena, she watches him with mixed emotions. Meanwhile, David mocks the situation, calling it foolish and teasing Frey for his strange taste. David notices Lucas looks weak and threatens to break his voice and limbs. As soon as the match starts, David casts Stone Rage, shocking the audience with its power. Worried, Isabel asks the professor if it breaks the rules, since only 1-star spells are allowed. The professor calmly explains that the spell is indeed a 1-star, so it's within the rules. David arrogantly uses his family's special spell, Vision Magic. Confident in his power, he taunts Lucas. But Lucas stays calm, casts a simple magic missile, and with a flick of his finger, blasts David off his feet. Lucas defeats David with a single spell, shocking everyone watching. David lies on the ground, stunned and unable to speak. His pride is clearly shattered. The students are amazed, and one upperclassman takes notice of Lucas, intrigued by his unexpected power. Lucas scolds David for using his family's relic without understanding it, calling him a disgrace. Recalling how David once threatened Frey, Lucas decides to return the favor, starting by breaking David's leg. David begs him to stop, but Lucas shows no mercy. Isabel asks the professor to end the match, saying it's gone too far, but the professor refuses, pointing out that David hasn't admitted defeat yet. Lucas puts David in his place, reminding him how he used to bully Frey. He says people like him don't belong in the world of magic. As he walks away, Lucas says he'll stop at the legs, but then smirks and adds, "You've got two, right?" Lucas uses magic missile again and breaks David's other leg. The next day, rumors spread across the academy. Frey beat David. Everyone is shocked. Lucas, currently in the body of Frey Blake, is approached by Duman Milost, a senior trainee at Westrod Academy. Duman invites him to join the Trauman Rings, an elite group of top students known for their skill, influence, and access to exclusive privileges. He proudly shows off a gold rune ring as proof of membership and describes the benefits that come with it. Despite the tempting offer, Lucas calmly refuses, leaving Duman stunned. Sir Peruan Jun, the manager of the Trauman Rings, apologizes to Lucas for Duman's behavior and invites him to join their circle. His calm and confident demeanor leaves a strong impression. However, despite recognizing his talent, Lucas refuses, saying it wouldn't benefit him, and walks away, leaving the others stunned. In the evening, Lucas arrives for a dinner with his teacher. But he's not alone. Isabel comes with him, surprising the teacher who expected a private meeting. Lucas asks Isabel to leave, but she insists on staying, saying she wants to learn the battle method. The teacher is shocked. The Kasajin battle method? She's never heard of it. If Lucas isn't lying, then she wants to learn it too. Tension rises at the table. Lucas flirts with the professor and almost kisses her, leaving her visibly flustered. Just then, Isabel interrupts and stops everything. Later, Lucas is left alone, reflecting on what happened. Lucas reflects under the night sky, wondering if there are still people carrying on their mission. Isabel approaches, and after a brief moment, Lucas asks who the strongest person in the academy is. Isabel answers. Among the trainees, it's Peruan Jun. Among the professors, it's Dio and Adelia. But the strongest of all is her aunt, Lady Cirris Trezin, the director of Westwood Academy. The professor appears and says that Aunt Isabel is a 6-star mage. She explains that, in theory, it's possible to reach 9 stars, but the last person to do so lived 3,000 years ago. She adds that only 10 of the greatest mages in history have ever reached 8 stars, and believes that 9 stars is probably just a legend. Lucas starts to wonder if he should meet the academy director in person. Lucas declares he wants to reach 7-star rank. The professor is surprised, noting it usually takes 10 to 20 years. But Lucas says he'll achieve it by the end of vacation. She smiles, saying it's good to dream big. Suddenly, Lucas hugs her by the waist and says he's not only good at dreaming, but also at loving. They're interrupted by Isabel, who threatens to report them to her aunt. Annoyed, Lucas says he doesn't like little kids, and the professor agrees. Later, Lucas reflects, under the moonlight, that there's no need to rush. Doing things properly is the fastest way.